Georgie? Why don't you go say hello? It Chapter 2. So It Chapter 2 is a sequel to the 2017 It. This is part 2 of the biggest Stephen King novel, It, and this movie stars James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader, and of course Bill Skarsgård returning as Pennywise once again. Basically, this movie picks up 27 years later after the first It, where basically the Losers Club are now adults, and one of the Loser Club members calls the Losers Club to reunite together to stop Pennywise once again, but this time for good. Now, of course, It Chapter 2 is one of my most anticipated horror films of this entire freaking year. I love the first It. That was definitely the biggest surprise of last year. I didn't expect that movie to be that good, and it was fantastic. And basically, this steelbook right there is one of my favorite steelbooks in the entire collection, this It steelbook. And yes, last video I did a Blu-ray hunting for the 1990s It steelbook after I watched It Chapter 2 with my buddy Stefan. I just want to say thank you so much for being in that video. Yeah, I don't mind the 1990s It. The first half, I think, it's the best part. The second act, yeah, everyone hates, including myself. But I think Tim Curry as Pennywise probably made me buy that film. Like, I think he's great as Pennywise, but not as good as Bill Skarsgård right there, because Bill Skarsgård is definitely the best, like, breakthrough actor I've ever seen in a movie. I would say I am so excited for Chapter 2. After Chapter 1, I was so pumped for this movie. I want to see this whole entire cast in this movie. The cast in this movie is absolutely incredible. We got James McAvoy, we got Jessica Chastain, we got Bill Hader. Great cast. Everyone wanted Jessica Chastain to play Beverly, and now she's doing it in the film. I was very excited to see what the Adult Loser Club does, because basically 1990 It with the second act, it wasn't that great. So hopefully, hopefully the team behind the first It brings the Adult Losers Club and make it more interesting. And I gotta say, It Chapter 2 was good. It wasn't great or anything. That's probably the most disappointing thing about this movie. This movie does have a couple of issues, but I was very entertained by It Chapter 2, even though I thought the first one is a lot better than this movie. First off, let's talk about the main positives with the film, and of course, it is the Adult Losers Club. We got James McAvoy as Bill, we got Jessica Chastain as Beverly, we got Bill Hader as Richie, Isla Mustafa as Mike, James Ransone as Eddie, Jay Ryan as Ben, and Andy Bean as Stanley. Every single one of the Losers Club, the Adult Losers Club, done such a fantastic job portraying those characters. You feel like they are the Losers Club that we know from the first It, but grown up, and that's what I wanted to see in this film. I wanted to see them having the same personalities as the original, and they definitely do, and I feel like I'm seeing the Losers Club back once again as adults. Everyone did such a good job, but only 3 of the Losers Club really stole for me. First off, Jessica Chastain as Beverly. I thought she does a really fantastic job in the film. I knew Jessica Chastain was going to nail it as Beverly because first she looks like the original actor Beverly from the original movie, and I think she's a talented actress, and I thought she does a great job as Beverly. You feel like that's not Jessica Chastain, that is Beverly. And also, of course, James McAvoy. He is just great in every single movie he is in, and of course him as Bill was fantastic in the film. We get to know Bill a little bit more in this movie, and I think his character was fantastic in the film, and you do root for him the entire freaking movie. But of course, everyone's going to say this in their review, and they're completely right. Bill Hader as Richie was great in this film. He made me laugh so many times, and I knew Bill Hader's going to be great because he's such a funny actor, and in this movie, he was fantastic in the film. And we also get to know Richie a bit more in this film where he's passed, and you do feel sympathy for him in the film as well, but also Bill Hader comes up with one of the most funniest one-liners I've seen this entire year. And of course, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise returning. He was still great in this film, even though I do have a bit of an issue with Pennywise, but there are some really fantastic scenes with Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and I think he's probably one of my favorite horror actors out there today, because Bill Skarsgård is still the great Pennywise that we know and love from the first movie. But what I really love most about this movie is that this movie is basically about the Adult Losers Club reuniting once again to basically fight Pennywise, to find out how to defeat him. And those aspects of this film, when they go in separate ways, those aspects of this film was fantastic, because you do root for the Losers Club in this entire freaking movie. And even though this movie is like 3 hours long, I wasn't bored during it. It was still entertaining, and even though I do have a couple of issues with It Chapter 2, which I'm going to mention right now, but still, this film is a very fun and entertaining film. But is this film scary though? That is my main issue with this film. That's the thing I was very disappointed by It Chapter 2, is that it wasn't as scary as I wanted. Yes, there are a couple of good scares in this film. There's a scare involving with a statue in the film that I'm not going to spoil, but that did make me jump. but the rest of the scares, it's like, you kind of see it coming in the film, and that's very disappointing because the first It with the scares, you don't see it coming, you don't know what is going to happen. This movie, the scares are so obvious in the film, and this film wasn't as scary as I wanted it to be, and I can see why people are disappointed because most of the scares in this movie, you see it coming, and I feel like the scares are very disappointing. There are some clever scares, and there are some really clever, intense scenes. Like, there's one scene with James McAvoy in the mirror that you see in the trailer. I love that scene. That scene was so intense. But that's probably the only scene that was, like, in the edge of my seat, because the other scares you see in the trailer and you knew what's going to happen in the film. Also, since this film is 3 hours long, there are some scenes in It Chapter 2 that they just put there for the sake of putting it there. Like, there's a scene that is involved with an antique store, and that's all I'm going to say. And I feel like that doesn't need to be in the film at freaking all. I know it's referring to something from the first It, but I feel like we know already and we don't need that in this entire freaking film. And of course, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. I said he's going to be one of my flaws in the movie, even though I think Bill Skarsgård did a fantastic job as Pennywise. He wasn't in the movie all that much. Like, the first It, he was in the movie enough, you know what I mean? He's in the scenes where he's supposed to be in the scenes. This movie, we get to see more Pennywise in the past, more than the future in the movie, and I felt like we don't get to see much Pennywise, and he didn't give us much attention. Even though I still think Bill Skarsgård is phenomenal as Pennywise, we don't get to see him as much in this entire film. But overall, guys, It Chapter 2 was definitely an entertaining film, but I would say it did let me down a bit, because there was a lot of problems in the film that I really wanted to be one of my positives of the film, and it didn't turn out as well as I thought it would be. The Adult Losers Club is definitely the thing that kept me so entertained by this movie, and this is a really fun, entertaining movie. If you want to see another fun, horror, entertaining film, I think It Chapter 2 will be for you. If you're a fan of the first It, you're going to find some enjoyment with It Chapter 2. But overall, I was a little bit let down by It Chapter 2. It definitely is disappointing, but still, I think this is a good film. I still enjoyed it. I think it's still an entertaining, fun film with Bill Skarsgård returning as Pennywise once again. And in the Adult Losers Club, the cast really made me entertained by the movie. If the cast isn't in the film, I would have hated this movie. So thank God for that. I'm going to give It Chapter 2 a B. So guys, that is my review for It Chapter 2. I want you guys to let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. If you like the movie, hate the movie, or thought it's okay, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, and Twitter. Keep in contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and have a nice day.